Hi, my name is Alan. I'm from Long Island, New York. Um, I have an amazing story which I cannot totally tell you now in the interest of time, so I'm going to try and just keep this short and sweet. I've had an amazing life. I've done many things. I've eaten just about every drug on the planet, walked away from everything. Spent most of my life never drinking alcohol. I had an issue in 1991, went through a really bad divorce, had to leave a band I was in on the verge of a record deal because part of the band was the reason for my divorce, and it was very heartbreaking. The only people I really had left around me at that point were my techs and my roadies, who were always, very devoted to me. And they felt bad for me, of course, and they were big drinkers, Always had to have, they wanted their paychecks and they wanted beer, So, their answer to help me out was, come on, Alan, don't sit around the house, let's go out and have a couple of drinks. So I started drinking at that point. It was fun, started meeting people, hanging around with crazy girls, which I had done for years anyway. I was with my friends, I felt safe, and they cared about me, but there was always alcohol involved. And the best way I can describe this, and I'll go into a little detail later, I look at it, for me it came in 3 stages. The first stage, it was recreational. Then second stage, it got medicinal, self-medicating, which I'm sure a lot of you people do. And the reason I'm here right now is because it became terminal. I came into this program very skeptical. I had been through 8 different programs in the last 20 years, all of which failed. I always had a desire to quit drinking. I never thought this would be a thing. Being able to walk away from every other drug with no ill effects, I figured alcohol is, that's got to be easy. It's been the biggest demon I've ever had to deal with in my life. Even with all the heartbreak and sadness that I've had in my life, a lot of my story is pretty horrific. I plan on chronicling it and maybe putting it on the web. It's long, but it's pretty interesting. Now that I think about it, I see it in a different light now. I can look at it and see it for what it is, and be confident it's something I can put behind me now and move forward. The reason is because my sister, in her infinite wisdom, accidentally found this place. She basically lives across the street from here, and she saw the sign, and she'd gone home and went on the web and checked it out, and came down to one of the Doc seminars, and she was totally sold on it. She had called my mom and told her, and they called me in New York and said, we really want you to do this. And I said, after 20 years and 8 times trying to do these programs and everything, it's not going to work. This is just too fantastic what you're telling me about this. This is like magic. I'm a very spiritual guy. I believe in miracles, okay? Magic is smoke and mirrors, and it's trickery, which I think a lot of doctors do. I think a lot of it is, I don't know if it's trickery or what, but I've been on 15 antidepressants, none of which have worked. I've always suffered from anxiety and depression. And the alcohol really did help that a lot. It gave me confidence. It took me away from my problems. And when things really got bad, I could just pass out. So it became part of my biology, basically, to the point where I couldn't live without it. 15 days before I came into this program, I was living on nothing but alcohol. There was no food, there was no water. That's all my body would accept was alcohol at that point. To the point where my mother, who's a recovered alcoholic for 26 years now, tried all kinds of things to help me feel better. She had flown to New York to help me out. I was at work and I had tried to stop drinking, and I just said to myself, I had a friend that did it, just cold turkey, and I said, you know what? I'm not a sissy, I'm not a baby. I'm a single dad. I have 2 sons of my own, one who just made me a grandfather, and I have a 15-year-old who is a typical teenager, which teenagers kind of suck, but I'm really proud of him. He does well in school. He's captain of the fire department in our town. He's done work for the Coast Guard, for our church, and even though he doesn't bring in the garbage cans and puts his socks in the microwave, all I get is good stuff out of the street about him, and I'm blessed to have that. The other stuff I deal with. It's a sacrifice you make as a parent, I guess. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, so I had a lot on my plate. I was very functional. I was getting things done. I have 6, or 5 actually, pseudo stepdaughters that I spent a lot of time helping raise, and one of them's in high school with my son right now. The other 2 are in college. They're doing really well, and 2 other ones I haven't seen in a while. There was a big issue there with the kids were given to their aunt because their parents were in jail for heroin trafficking. And unfortunately, her being the guardian, she was a raging alcoholic as well, to the point where she did something incredibly stupid on Christmas Eve and Rissy's 13th birthday that ended up her losing the kids for 11 months. She got the kids back. Last time I saw her, I talked to her on Christmas, and she totally just kind of blew me off, which I thought was kind of odd. The day after New Year's, I was in a grocery store, and I came out, and I saw her coming out of a liquor store. And I was like, you didn't learn, did you? I've been very lucky. I've never been arrested for DUI. I've never hurt anybody. I've had attacks of rage at times because other people just do really stupid things. And I'm not a rageful person at all. So that was starting to bother me. I'm like, this is not me at all. And like I say, I had gotten to the point where I was just living on alcohol. And I had figured at that point, there's nothing more for me. It had gotten to the point where my mom, like I said, 26 years recovered, because I was in such bad shape. And I had done everything that she had asked me to do, and I wasn't getting better. She made a sacrifice, and after 26 years, went into a liquor store and bought me a bottle of vodka and brought it home and gave me a drink, to the point where I was calm enough where I could talk to her about stuff. And she said she was traumatized, for a recovered alcoholic to walk into a liquor store after 26 years. That's pretty big, but that's my mom. She loves her little boy. She really does. She's an amazing woman. And then we talked about the program. And I had had a major seizure that had landed me in ICU while I was at work, because I had said, I'm going to man up and I'm just not going to drink anymore. And a couple of days later, I was at work. I was in a vehicle, government vehicle, driving. And I had a major seizure while I was driving, to the point where I could not control the vehicle at all. And I remember just going into an intersection and everything went black. I woke up in ICU in a hospital. One of my bosses was sitting next to me and said, "Thank God, you're all right. Your truck was parked. It was on the wrong side of the road. There was no damage. No one was hurt. There was no accidents. And a passerby found you laying in the road. The truck was parked, locked, emergency brake on, and I was face down in the street. And a passerby picked up my cell phone, pressed a button, and this person I called was my mom in Florida. And she was the first one to get the news. And she had to call my, they said, "Do you know this person? He's laying in the street." And she was like, "That's my son." So she ended up having to call my work and everything. And that was that. And I came home, and I was home for a while. My sister and my brother-in-law had come from Palm Harbor up to New York to help me out with some stuff. And my mom was there as well. And by the grace of God, I was still alive, but I was suffering miserably. And it just kept getting worse. Every day I got a little bit worse, to the point, like I said, 15 days before I got here, I was living on alcohol. I got here, my sister was, way on board with this stuff. And I had no faith in it whatsoever. Like I say, 8 attempts and then just trying to go cold turkey. I was the hopeless case. I don't down AA or any of the programs that people go in. It worked for my mom. I'm sure a lot of programs work for a lot of people, okay, but just not for me. So this weird magical thing, as I thought at the time, for a person that doesn't believe in magic, no good. So I reluctantly agreed to do this. I was pretty sick at that point, and Doc had said something to my sister, and I just remember my sister's face just going almost yellow. And she begged Doc, she said, "Could you just take him now?" And he just said, "I can fix him. Don't worry." And he said, "You're going to take him home tonight, and tomorrow you're going to bring him back, and we're going to fix him." And I don't remember a lot at that point. I don't know what happened after that. I remember my brother-in-law taking me to the liquor store. I was told to drink what I normally drink. Don't change anything, and we'll see you tomorrow. I would estimate I drank probably 3 or 4 times what I normally drank, because I had no faith in this whatsoever. I was resigned to my fate, and I was hoping that, I was praying that God would understand that I tried really hard, and I was sorry, and I was hoping he'd, let me, I know I'm early, but could I still come in? And that was my plan. So I loaded myself up, dressed myself up nicely, laid down on a bed, put a blanket on myself. I started to do the end stage aspiration of alcoholism. I think it's called Clemsia or something like that. And I said, here we go. Suffering is going to be over. That's all I want, was the suffering, the madness to end. My sister would come the next morning and just pick up the phone and call 911, and it would all be over. By the grace of God, I was awake the next morning. Next thing you know, I'm waking up in a hospital again. And I'm like, what is going on? This is just wrong, totally wrong. no, it was totally right. God had put me in this place and put these wonderful people around me, and it's right across the street from my family, who all they wanted from me was the best. And amazingly enough, I woke up with an IV in my arm and a guy going, "Don't worry, man, everything's going to be just fine." And I'm sitting there going, "You're out of your mind." And within hours, I was sitting up. They brought me food, which I hadn't seen food in 16 days. And it was like heaven just to see that. And I ate it and it felt good. And by the hour, I felt better and better and better. Absolutely amazing. I know you don't believe it. Please believe it. I walked out to see Gary at the desk, and he was like, "Dude, look at you." And I looked around and I was like, "What's the matter?" He's like, "Go look in the mirror." So I'm staggering back into my room, and I looked in the mirror, and I was frightened. I hadn't seen myself look like that in 25 years. I felt joy, I felt no anxiety, no depression, I felt peaceful, I felt happy, and it scared me. I was scared to death. I hadn't felt those things that intensely, and I can't tell you how long. To me, this program is nothing short of a medical and scientific, and I have to say miracle, because God is behind this. He's totally behind this. And He has blessed Dr. Sponaugle and helped, imparted wisdom and a desire to help people. To basically, I was on death's door, and not only am I alive, but I'm happy and I am strong. And this happened in 36 hours. I'm out of the hospital 1 week right now, and words cannot explain how much, by the day, I feel so much better, and I see things so much. The only thing that bothers me right now is I am so confused, because the possibilities that I think about for myself right now are limitless. And I have to thank God and Doc and everybody in this program. It is, I know you find it fantastic and unbelievable, but if you're like me and you've been spinning your wheels for years and spending money, and it's not going to work, I can't get fixed, and you've taken pills and you know, they got you stable, you're still not right. You can be fixed. You can absolutely be fixed. And I'm a person that I'm very skeptical. I need answers. I need to know why. And I have learned so much about what happened to me, why it happened to me. And in the next few weeks, I'm going to learn more. And I'm excited. Not a thing I would ever expect that I would be excited about, but I am so forward to finding out more, because I'm going to get my why. And you folks are going to get your why. You won't have that black cloud over your head. You won't be spinning your wheels. It's going to open you up to things you never thought that you could do. You will become a walking, talking miracle. You will be a source of joy and relief to your family and your friends who have suffered with you, which you couldn't see because you were suffering so bad yourself. And you will be an inspiration to people you have never met. And all I can say is God bless Dr. Sponaugle, and may he keep imparting wisdom and his desire to go forward with this thing, and bless everybody in this program. They are all caring, understanding, happy, and incredibly intelligent. It's something like you cannot imagine. And I urge you, please, please give it a shot. You're going to be surprised. Come in here and read Jeremiah 29:11. And then be brave, trust in God, and go for it. And when you get out, read Jeremiah 29:11 again. And it's going to mean a whole different thing to you. And you'll walk out of that hospital and you'll see the world like you've never seen it before. And you will only feel more joy, more happiness. You will feel powerful. You will feel confident. You will be excited to what's to come. And the big thing everybody told me, as happy as I was when I left the hospital, was wait and see. It's only going to get better. I can't imagine it. But so far, nothing short of a miracle. Everybody here is amazing. Absolutely amazing. The biggest skeptic, the lost hope, the worst case, you know? That was me, not now. And amazingly, it was a matter of hours. Just hours. It's, as I say, nothing short of a miracle. God bless everybody in this program, the staff, Doc. God bless you. I wish you all the best of luck. And please, like I said, be brave, trust in God, listen to what they have to say, and go for it. It'll be the best thing you ever did for yourself, your family, your friends, and people you don't even know.